So I've been using Notion now for 4 years, really ever since college, as my main second brain hub. It's just a way for me to keep and stay organized. The way that I use Notion now absolutely is not the way that I was using it when I first started. And I'm also by no means a power user. There are some people who really make this software their home and super customized to their needs. I would say that I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, like an intermediate user of Notion. And it has evolved a lot since I first started using it. The skeleton of all of my Notion dashboards is the Matthew and Cena project tracker free template. I kind of found this way later in my Notion journey. I would say maybe after a full year of using the platform. And this template really is what unlocked my kind of understanding, and kind of that's where I had the aha moment that Notion could be a really great tool for me to organize my life for all of the different ventures that I try and do. And that's exactly what I've done using this template as kind of the framework. Basically what it is, as you can see here, is just an interactive database of all of the projects that I have going on kind of at once and what status that they're in. Within each of these projects is all of the pre-production notes for these videos that I'm working on. But there could obviously be anything. If you use it for cooking and recipes, you could put ingredient lists or whatever in there. And this basically just allows me to stay super organized when it comes to the content creation that you're seeing here. It's that basic format that kind of builds the Notion systems that I use on a day-to-day basis. Now, what really unlocked my power usage of Notion has taken place over the past 3 or 4 months, and that is the integration with Claude. I truly believe that this integration is one of Claude's most powerful, as this has unlocked a totally new vertical for Notion in my daily life. What this Claude integration has allowed me to do in Notion is have multiple living, breathing databases that all kind of coincide and interact with each other, allowing me to manage multiple different projects much easier. What it primarily does for me is help me not double book myself. It cross-references all of my calendars to make sure that projects are done on time, and it holds me accountable and identifies problems within workflows. There have been multiple videos that I've been working on since this whole content thing. It's basically like having an assistant, and that is so unbelievably helpful. If you're a Notion user, I highly recommend giving the Claude MCP a try. It's super easy to set up using Claude Cowork, and it enables a completely new vertical within your Notion workflow. With all that being said, let's jump into my Notion and take a look, so that way you can get a better idea of what it kind of looks like. Starting with the main hub, this is my content command center, and this is kind of the super North Star for everything that we have going on within my content creation workflow. As you can see, it's got a pretty in-depth calendar with upload dates, shoot dates, editing days, B-roll sessions, thumbnail due dates, all of these things. And these are all just key checkpoints within the video creation process. But the kind of idea with the Content Command Center is that at a glance, I should be able to see everything that's currently in motion and also everything that's coming on down the pipeline, so that way I can approach my days more efficiently. The heartbeat of the content creation journey right now is long form content, the kind of videos that you're watching right now. And those live in the long form content dashboard, which is basically like a more thorough and in-depth version of the Command Center. This only features long form content projects. So if I'm working on YouTube videos specifically, this is the dashboard that I go to. As you can see, there are inspiration lists of content creators that I look into. There's also the projects tab, which is what I kind of showed you before, which is all of the active videos that we're working on. And then you also scroll down and you'll see the long form calendar. This calendar is pretty much the same as the one that's on the Command Center. However, it doesn't have anything other than long form content projects. I find too much stuff on calendar sometimes to be very overwhelming, so having individual views is very important. Right now it looks pretty much the same, but what this does is it future-proofs me for down the road whenever I incorporate short form content, client projects, those sorts of things that all kind of automatically get synced up as long as it's built correctly. And all of this is possible because of the Claude MCP integration. You'll also see a tab here for weekly briefs and creator industry weekly briefs. These are Claude automations that for me run every Saturday. The weekly brief runs tells me everything that I need to make sure that gets done the next week. It's basically like a make sure you do this list that Claude does, cross-referencing all channels. And then there's also the creator industry weekly brief. Pretty much what this is a creator industry snapshot that's generated by Claude. Basically what it is a tailored newsletter for me every week. And the primary thing that it does for me is give me information. It also helps me keep up to date with YouTube trends and YouTube changes. Like I said, these are all possible because of the Claude integration. It's just extra information to have at your hands, and it all happens while you're asleep. You'll also see, if you scroll below the calendar, is a pretty long list of information stored here. What all this is key information for Claude itself to run its best and have the most possible context for my use case. Things like the rules that we operate under, the agent roster, different working protocols that we have, strategies, that sort of thing. All of it lives in the Notion, so that way Claude can easily refer to it. That way within sessions, we make sure that we're always aligned. But that pretty much is my Notion. I try and keep it pretty simple, and really what it does for me is organize production as well as organizing ideas for the videos. It just makes the overall content creation journey for me much easier. This is just one application for Notion, and I know that there's a ton of videos similar to this out there showcasing their Notions for content creators specifically, but you can use Notion for anything. I used it for college whenever I was in school, helped me track due dates and assignments and that sort of thing. And I was doing all of that manual with no Claude integration. So if you're somebody like me who isn't super organized naturally, I highly recommend trying out Notion in general, because I think it's really good as a digital organization tool, but also trying out that Claude integration. It's been such a great pack-a-punch to my Notion workflow. And so if I were starting out with Notion in 2026, the first thing that I would do is try and find a template that I like. A ton of content creators out there have Notion templates, whether they're for sale or for free download. Download that, give it a try, and just see what it is that you like about it and what you would change. It's exactly what I did 4 years ago, and now here we are with full custom dashboards. If it wasn't for Notion, I would not be able to take on as many tasks as I do and be as efficient as I am in completing them. It really is the heart and soul of my content journey, and without this, there's no chance I would be able to do what I do. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Austin. I'm a photographer and videographer here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you got any value from this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.